This next question will actually go to all of our candidates this evening. And the question is, what is the solution to the daily traffic snarl for commuters? And for this question, we're going to begin with Commissioner Wagner.
Excuse me.
What is the solution to the daily traffic snarl for commuters?
What is the solution? You know, I guess what we talked about it a little bit earlier, about half an hour ago, is try to keep more jobs, good jobs here in Scott County. Obviously, that would be the number one thing, you know, because the problem comes when you try to get across the river. For the most part, you can commute pretty easily inside of this beltway here. And unfortunately, I really don't believe we can build our way out of congestion. I don't think that's possible. Things like the Denny Hecker building to try to get more people riding together, more buses, etc., that would help. But I think the biggest thing is just try to economic development here in Scott County. Thank you.
Well, as a follow-up, what additional mass transit investment does Scott County need?
What other besides?
What additional mass transit investment does Scott County need?
Well, you know, like I say, we have the park and ride situations, and I think we're doing a good job. I mean, we can always do more. We need to develop, obviously, and get the Denny Hecker building, you know, up and running and everything. But I think we're doing just keep working at what we're doing right now.
Mr. Lawrence, same question. What is the solution to the daily traffic snarl for commuters?
That's a really tough question because I think for the most part people like to drive by themselves. They have things to do after work. They're concerned if their children are child care and need to be picked up. But we need some infrastructure. It was interesting when the bridge in Shakopee was closed and the 169 bridge went to more lanes. There wasn't much of a traffic problem then in terms of monitoring it and hearing what it was on the radio. So you may need more lane there. I also think through Met Council, and this is a possibility at some point, we're going to have the Southwest Corridor going through the southwestern portion of Hennepin County. Is there a possibility that we could see rail in Scott County? I know there's a dam patch line that no one's supposed to talk about, supposedly. You're not supposed to talk about the dam patch line. That's our Met Council, apparently, that's coming from. But I think the idea of light rail is a possibility, and the possibility of extending that from the Southwest Corridor when that's completed.
So just to clarify that with the follow-up about mass transit, yes, you would advocate a dam patch line and or an additional lane over on 169?
I think both are possibilities. It seemed to solve the problem during the flood situation when all of that traffic continued to have to move east.
Commissioner Wolf, for you, what is the solution to the daily traffic snarl for commuters?
First of all, I don't believe rail is the answer. I think it's expensive. You know what's going in downtown and around there. It's awful expensive per ride there. And no matter what solution, I'm on an I-35 Solutions Committee. We look at solutions and different things all the time. And no matter what you do, whether it was the 13 bridge there coming across from 101, if you plug a hole or make it easier for someone to get to and from one spot, it's going to plug up somewhere else. And but I do support buses. I support the parking lot. We go from the Denny Hecker and the one on 16 and 21. Buses can go on just about any single road in the state. So thank you.
So then in answer to the follow-up, your answer would be that we are making the appropriate investment right now in buses.
We're making if we can get the 101 bridge fixed up there, because 35, the bridge there is scheduled to be replaced or repaired in 8-10 years. And if that closes down, we're going to need a reliever. And so 101, if you got flooded, that would be it.
Ms. Barber.
Yep.
Well, I agree at this point. I think that there are congestion issues and they will likely continue to a certain extent. It will help with the opening of the interchanges at 494 and 169, but soon it's going to be, the backups are going to start further down. You already see that happening at 21 and 169. Now those are state roads, but so what can the county board themselves do is they can certainly advocate for their community, to the Met Council, to the state legislature to try and improve that situation. As far as transit, I think really the focus right now should be more on the bus systems and the park and ride. speaking with county staff, with the expertise in this area, with the 3 stations, the South Ridge and Eagle Creek and the Denny Hecker Station, those 3 should satisfy our requirements at least for through 2025, which is fabulous. But that doesn't mean I think we should take our eye off the ball to look for new opportunities and new ways to help improve mass transit for people going outside of the county. I very much agree with the comment about economic development. As many people as we can keep here, we keep them off the roads as well.
Commissioner Menden, it's really a 2-part question then. What's the solution to the daily traffic snarl for commuters, and what additional mass transit investment does Scott County need?
I think I'm really a believer in park and rides, and Scott County, when they got that Denny Hecker building open, I'm hoping it relieves some traffic. I don't know if they'll really notice it that much, but I thought it was up to 600 cars at its max. And then 21 and when they just opened out, 21 and 16, and then the one over there by Home Depot. So I really do think that's one of the solutions. And and I think a lot of people I check those things different times, and there's more and more people using those. Not that you get on a bus and go downtown Minneapolis versus fighting on that trash back and forth and sure ladder around the world across the river. And then I think in the long run, I think the rail, isn't that coming to Eden Prairie? I'm not sure exactly when that is, but to me that's another answer. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you, to me, sometimes people just have to wait in line. And they got to wait. They got to be patient. Everybody's always in a hurry around the cities, it seems like, and that's why people love to go up north, so it's more relaxed. Just sit down, take your time.
Commissioner Marschall, then, there's a 2-part question now. What is the solution to the daily traffic snarl for commuters, and what additional mass transit investment does Scott County need?
We have invested in transit significantly in the last few years, the continuation of the park and rides. We have our 3rd major one now ready to go soon. The infrastructure improvements that we can make on the road with the idea that we design roads that keep traffic moving, that we don't have stop signs or interchanges that really interrupt the flow of traffic. And in our mass transit, if we can accommodate bus rapid lanes that keep the buses moving, and also schedules that go to new and more destinations, so that people who are not just going to downtown Minneapolis, but maybe St. Paul or the Bloomington area, have a way to get there. If they're not going to Minneapolis right now, they're really stuck unless they want to go to the Burnsville station. And we missed the opportunity many years ago for rail, and decided not to invest in that. And now the opportunity, because of the cost, is pretty well gone, unless we really want to incur a lot of debt. Also, the river crossing that's been discussed repeatedly will be a significant investment, and who knows if it'll happen because of that.
Commissioner Ulrich, what's the solution to the daily traffic snarl for commuters, and what additional mass transit investment does Scott County need?
10 years ago, if we had made a kind of a dream list of projects that we wanted to see happen, we wouldn't have put on the list as many things as we've got done. 494, 169, Highway 13, County Road 21, the 101 bridge that is soon to come, 3 park and rides, Blue Express bus service launched. We've removed bottlenecks everywhere we can. That's one of the big things, is remove bottlenecks. That 494, 169 interchange, even though it isn't in Scott County. We worked so hard you would have thought it was in Scott County, and that's going to change everybody's life once that's completed this fall. And so we want to do that. And what additional? We should have 169 designated as a transit way for bus rapid transit. We should have bus shoulders the whole way there's places there aren't bus shoulders, and so we need to develop that as a bus transit way.
Mr. Kucera, what is the solution to the daily traffic snarl for commuters, and what additional mass transit investment does Scott County need?
Other than staying home and not going to work, I think you're going to have to present people with options. The park and ride is wonderful that people can do that if they like to ride the bus. Personally, I am one of these people that if I'm going to be in the vehicle, I have to drive, and I don't know if you're going to change that. But unfortunately, a solution is not tomorrow. You look how long it took the 494, 169. I had a chance to speak with Bill Komiarski, who occupied Commissioner 1 district for 32 years. I'm talking to him, you got the impression that he worked almost his entire tenure on getting the 169 bridge. So there's nothing that's going to be happening anytime soon. So my suggestion is we work very hard to find work, attract companies to work, rather to build, so we can have jobs within Scott County. People can stay home.